Hey everyone, welcome back to NFT PFPs by Avaissance. This is the PostMint Primer, video 5 of 5. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the PostMint Primer. You've worked so hard for months to get to this specific date or point in time. Now that you've minted your collection, what's next? Uh, in the lead up to mint, it's easy to be laser focused on getting to this big event, all the marketing, all the art reveals, all the communications to your community, all of that. But it's important to plan ahead at least a little bit on immediate next steps. No one can tell you where your collection will be, 6 months from now, a year from now exactly, but there are a few things you can do to get yourself ready. And what's next will vary a lot from project to project, but some things stay the same across most PFP collections. So we'll talk a little bit about the commonalities here and what some projects have done. So it's important to remember how you've marketed and positioned your project leading up to mint. Is this collection just art? If that's the case, then there's really not much to do after you reveal the art. Was there a product discussed? Is it a brand or IP project? Whatever it may be, ideally you have some things in motion already so you can get the ball rolling. NFT holders are investing their time and money into your project and their attention, and they will expect results around whatever it is that you've discussed. So attention spans are also short, and patience is thin in this space, so that's an important thing to remember. And the clock starts ticking the moment your mint is finished. So even though you and your team may want to take a breather and celebrate all the hard work that led up to this point, which you can and should, it's important to also think ahead a little bit in terms of what you're going to do next. So typically the first step is the art reveal. For most PFP projects today, the first step is the same. It is this art reveal. This step is operationally and technically challenging. It's very prone to mistakes. So it's important to not take your foot off the gas pedal once you've reached mint, especially not during reveal. So when someone mints an NFT, typically one of two things happens. Either you mint a blank token with a placeholder art or asset attached to it, and every single token in your collection looks the same, or they mint a token that immediately has art attached to it. And the art attached to each token is actually different. So in this second case, this is called an instant reveal mechanism. In the first case, this would be a delayed reveal mechanism. Either way, this is commonly thought of as the reveal. So years ago, instant reveal mints were a little bit more common. Meebits comes to mind. They were the secondary collection created by Larva Labs, now owned by Yuga Labs. This was a instant reveal where you would go and mint during their Dutch auction process, and the moment you mint it, you would see some kind of animation, and it would immediately reveal into a Meebit. This was a usable avatar or PFP, so you would instantly know what you minted. Nowadays, delayed reveal mechanisms are more common. Over the course of hours or days, holders will mint your entire collection. Let's say it's X thousand. After this period, there will be some period of time in which everyone is just holding these tokens that all look the same. It can be a box, it could be a bean, it could be a pill, just some kind of placeholder that denotes this is going to be a PFP or an avatar one day. But right now, everyone is just holding these kind of blank placeholders. The reason why this got popularized by some collections was largely due to Zuki's ERC 721A mechanism. This is not an issue on L2s like AVAX, where gas is not as big of a concern for people minting. So whatever it may be, if you want to do an instant reveal or a delayed reveal, this is probably time to consult your team, especially your dev team, and just discuss how do we want to do this. Do we want people to have a PFP and art revealed the moment they mint, or do you want to have that kind of delayed period where everyone is holding these placeholders, waiting for that big reveal moment to see what exactly it is they got all at the same time? You can't take too long to reveal the art, or holders will lose interest and or get impatient. In their minds, they followed you along this whole marketing journey. They got through mint day. People are going to want to know what they got. So it's important to have this pre-planned. And you shouldn't use this delayed art reveal time to actually be working on new art or introducing new traits, new types, any kind of big changes like that. If anything, you should only be using it to do some final QA and cleanup to see if there's any mistakes you missed, any final polish or rendering that you might have to do. So, in general, I wouldn't recommend taking more than 1 or 2 weeks max post-mint to reveal your art. So, once you're ready to reveal the art, this should be a big marketed event, and your team should be ready to execute on this day flawlessly. You should treat it with the same amount of importance as mint day. And so one of the first things you need to think about is, where is your metadata stored? because if you do the delayed mint mechanism, all the metadata for every single token will be exactly the same. Basically, there is no metadata. They just have this placeholder image. So when it is time to actually reveal it, then you need to go and actually push the unique metadata for each of the X thousand tokens. And so where is it going to be stored? If it's on chain, it's typically stored as some string or a set of integers directly in the contract. If it's off chain, typically people use IPFS or something equivalent, some kind of off chain decentralized storage protocol. You'll eventually publish this to a JSON file that is then read by the marketplaces, and that's how when people go to a marketplace like OpenSea and browse the collection, that's how OpenSea knows, token number 1234 has so-and-so traits and this art attached to it. So the image and metadata are kind of two different things. The metadata is really just a combination of traits attached to a specific token ID, whereas the image is the avatar that represents the string of metadata attached to that token ID. The token URI for each specific ID is kind of like a URL that points to a source where that image is stored. So token ID number 1234 may have a string of XYZ metadata, and it should be pointing to 1234.jpg, the token URI should, which will then tell third-party marketplaces and wherever else you're viewing this NFT, like this is the image that represents this collection of metadata. So even with the delayed reveal mechanism, there are two considerations. Will you be doing an automatic reveal or a manual reveal? An automatic reveal is where the metadata updates for the entire collection and it's all pushed at once. So you have a collection of 10,000 placeholder images, you get to the reveal day, you do the countdown, 3, 2, 1, boom, everything reveals, hopefully around the same time. There can be delays, which we'll talk about. So you want to reach out to all the major marketplaces to ask them to push a manual refresh of your collection's metadata. This way, everyone is on the same footing and everyone will see the reveal at the same time. If you're just relying on the marketplace API to refresh on the normally scheduled interview, whether it's every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, there can be delays or backlogs where maybe only 9,000 out of 10,000 tokens are revealed, and you'll have a few that just are not revealed for other people. A manual reveal is a more interactive process where it's the same delayed mechanism. You get to this reveal date, but users have to actually interact with your website to reveal their token. So this gives you a little more flexibility. It's more interactive. This actually can create a secondary collection where the initial placeholder NFT that people minted, let's just use a box for example, this was truly just a box. They have to then go to your website and burn that token or open that box to then generate or trade one for one the revealed token, which will be a second collection. So in this way, the initial collection is a deflationary collection. Let's say you start out with 10,000 boxes. With each box that someone opens, the second collection of the revealed avatars, your actual PFP collection, that one is inflationary with a cap of 10,000 or however many boxes you started with. So a little bit about the pros and cons of these different art reveal considerations. If you do an automatic reveal, the biggest pro is that it's revealed all at once. The entire collection will definitively be revealed because you're pushing the metadata update for the entire collection. It's more simple. You only have one collection to think about, and it's just a coordinated single marketing event where you push it all at once. The main con here is if marketplaces don't update the metadata quickly for everyone at the same time, it can be an unfair playing field where someone might already see that token number 1234 is rare, but someone else has for them token 1234 hasn't been updated yet. So this is the those are the kind of the pros and cons around automatic reveal. And then if you look at the manual reveal, this is a more interactive experience for users where there is a layer of speculation around these unrevealed tokens. It's kind of like a gachapon or a lottery ticket, and it encourages sometimes people to trade these unrevealed tokens for the chance to get a rare. But now see, the con for this is not only is it more technically complex, some percent of your collection will never be revealed. If you look at the two collections on the right, these both had manual reveal mechanisms. These were the Azuki Elemental Beans and the Rango Black Boxes. If you look at both of the unrevealed collections, so these would be the beans or the boxes, both collections still have probably thousands of unrevealed beans or boxes in them. And the reason for this is, you'll always have people who are holding on to their unrevealed boxes in hopes that one day it might reveal into something super rare, or that people are willing to pay more for an unrevealed box or bean. And so when you start having this dynamic, if you really want the whole world to see 100% of your collection, see all the art, then you have to be ready for the fact that most likely the entire collection will never be revealed. There may be 1 or 50 or 500 or 1,000 of these tokens that are just kind of held permanently unrevealed. They may even end up in wallets that get lost, in which case no one can access it, and then it will truly never be revealed. Doing a manual reveal mechanism is also more technically complex, because you have to build in more methods to the contract. You have to build in the ability for one contract to burn the token, and to basically reveal a token in the second contract. You'll also be dealing with 2 collections, 2 floor prices. It's just a lot more to think about. But whichever way you choose, again, this is a very important day. You should treat it with as much importance and intention as you do mint day, and of course consult your team on what you guys want to do, what's best for your collection, and what's feasible. And so, and then we'll move on to the post-reveal slump. This is the last topic for this video. It's very common for collections to see kind of a slump in both attention, engagement, and floor price post-reveal. You've worked hard marketing to get to this point. People have finally minted, and now that the art is revealed, now what? The reason why you see some of this slump is, there's always going to be some amount of sell pressure after you've revealed, because let's say you have a collection of 10,000. Not everyone is going to reveal something that they like. Maybe you're a female holder that revealed a male, or you're a male holder that revealed a female, but you wanted an avatar that more closely resembles your real life gender or identity. So this is just a very common example. So you will have people who are unhappy with what they revealed, and they're going to want to sell those and potentially go buy one that more closely resembles them. So this is always going to create some sell pressure that will drag your floor price down, that will drag your attention and overall engagement down. And then there will always be people who minted and kind of treated it as a raffle ticket in the event that they minted a rare. And inevitably, just statistically, not everyone is going to mint a rare. Most people will actually mint commons, and so there's no buy pressure to counter this, where a handful of people minted commons, they don't like it, and then they sell it and move on, or potentially wait and buy a rare. But this will create, of course, more sales than purchases. So you're dealing with these natural supply and demand dynamics post reveal that you should just be wary of. And so even just understanding this kind of puts you ahead. So by understanding this, you can plan ahead and think about, okay, what kind of activations or events or activities can we plan immediately after reveal to help keep people engaged, help keep them interested in the project. And so we're seeing a lot more of these strategies being utilized by projects across the board, whether it's on AVAX, ETH, or somewhere else. But people are introducing staking and loyalty programs, new feature releases, kind of a reroll mechanic where people can actually change the traits on whatever NFT they minted. This will make it more likely that someone holds on to whatever token they minted, because maybe there's just one trait they didn't like, and they can go and try to change it into the perfect avatar for them. Introducing wearables and equipables where you can further customize it, and this has the same effect of helping people optimize the avatar they minted instead of forcing them to sell it because they don't like it. And so that's a little bit about on the post mint primer. And with that, we'll end the Avaissance NFT PFP video series. Thanks everyone for listening.